My interest is in understanding neurodegenerative disease using the retina as a model for following neurodegeneration.
I study how the retina can be used as a tool to help diagnose patients with neurodegenerative disorders and using the retina as a model to understand the mechanisms that drive these disorders.
We can diagnose diseases relatively well today because we have the capacity to perform imaging, brain imaging. But brain imaging has a couple limitations. One is that it's expensive and it has a limited spatial resolution. So we can see things, but we see things in their gross aggregate. We don't see things down at the cellular level. And many of the great discoveries of the 20th century in terms of biomedicine have been because we can track diseases extremely closely in response to therapeutics or in terms of their natural history by sampling tissue and looking at cells. And the great challenge in neuroscience is clinically we can't do that.
And it's incredibly frustrating for patients, for their families, and for us as practitioners with the current state of affairs because there are no effective treatments for these patients. Many treatments that have gone through trials have failed. And there's an increasing recognition that these diseases start decades before the first symptoms of dementia. In order to identify effective treatments for these diseases, we probably need to identify patients who are at risk for dementia decades before they actually form this. That means screening an entire population of people who are at risk. We have great imaging modalities based on molecular imaging of the brain and tests where you actually draw off spinal fluid that can identify people who are at risk for later development of dementia. However, because of the invasiveness of the spinal tap and the cost of the brain scan, these wouldn't be able to be employed on a population basis to identify at-risk patients.
Michael and I really wanted to explore, is there any way we could use the retina to develop some of those similar measures or something that would be part of similar measures for neurodegenerative disease?